Sri Lanka is one of the world's 35 biodiversity hotspots. We have 722 species of endemic fauna and flora, but we are number 6 in the list of countries most vulnerable to climate change. We are in a quandary. Time to take the bull by the horns then. The Lanka Environment Fund has been looking at the long-term survival of Sri Lanka's ecosystem. 4 thematic areas: terrestrial conservation, marine conservation, effective waste management and responsible tourism. Chatting with me on Cynical Let's Talk is Vinod Malavatta, a conservationist who has a keen interest in natural resource governance. He's the current executive director of the Lanka Environment Fund and the co-founder of the Parrotfish Collective. Welcome, Vinod. Now, the Lanka Environment Fund has been working on a number of projects in the area of conserving Sri Lanka's ecosystems. Let me hone in from your 4 thematic areas. Let me hone in on marine conservation. So, given that we are an island, marine debris is a huge problem. It's not just from Sri Lanka's marine debris that we have to, is a challenge, but from the area of the entire Indian Ocean. How has LEF been able to focus on this?
We've actually got a 3-year project that we're working on. It's called the Mannar Region Systemic Solutions Project, and it's a transboundary project between Sri Lanka and India, and we're looking at marine debris within the Gulf of Mannar. There's a marine conservation group in Sri Lanka as well as in the Indian side working on it, and what we're looking at doing is doing transects of beach surveys, as well as engaging with the fishing community to look at what are the main polluters of the area, what kind of debris is washing up in this area, which is of critical importance both ecologically and economically. So that's one thing that we're doing at the moment.
So LEF has been involved and requires funding for a number of projects, marine conservation projects. Briefly, what are these and why were these picked?
So we're working on one currently in the Bar Reef Marine Sanctuary with the Environmental Foundation. It's called a Community Livelihood and Biodiversity Recovery Project. Then we've also got several mangrove-related projects that we're working on in Anavilundava Sanctuary as well as within the Vidat Taltiu Nature Reserve. How we see it is Sri Lanka being an island destination, we have to conserve our marine resources that are around us, as well as with changing climatic conditions. It's important for us to look at nature-based solutions if we have to thrive and ensure that our coastal communities have a future.
Responsible fisheries management is an issue that's not focused on much, although it is a challenge that we have to address. How do we go about shedding the spotlight on this?
Well, unfortunately, there aren't a lot of assessments. There's actually no stock assessments done. Recently, we've had some swimmer crab, blue swimmer crab stock assessments done, but with a lot of the export species as well as other species that are consumed in Sri Lanka, with no stock assessments done, we actually don't know where we are. So a starting point would be to do a stock assessment, which should be carried out. There are experts in Sri Lanka, but in conjunction with the relevant departments, that would be the Department of Fisheries, and looking at where we are, and then putting fisheries management plans in place to ensure that these stocks are managed properly. And then we can also look at increased surveillance. Sri Lanka's got a marine area which is almost 8 times the size of Sri Lanka. So it's like, how can we look into those areas, whether it's using technology or different methods of surveillance. We need to ensure that our waters are not fished by, we'll say, other countries' vessels that come into Sri Lankan waters.
Sri Lanka is expected to be one of the 5 yellowfin tuna fishing destinations in the Indian Ocean by 2023. Now, how do we manage this?
Yeah, very interesting, because right now, in 2019, latest surveys showed that almost 80% of the tuna caught in Sri Lanka were juvenile or immature. So again, when you look at the statistics, it is quite a dire situation as we move forward. So it's again doing those stock assessments, kind of looking at enforcement of some of the rules and regulations that we have in place, as well as looking to how we can converge some of the things that we're pushing economically, as well as some of the livelihoods related issues that we have.
So as far as I can see, you have a long road ahead of you.
Yeah, for sure. I think everyone does in Sri Lanka with conservation, because we are a small country, and population growth is on the rise. We would say development is spreading across the country. So it's like, how do we kind of converge conservation and development in order to move forward is one of the biggest challenges we all face.
So good luck, Vinod.
Thank you so much.
And well done with all the stuff you're doing right
yeah,
now.
thank you so much for having me.
Kaleidoscope with Savitri Rodrigo is on multiple digital channels: YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn.
We are here to better your lives and champion your every goal. With 12 billion rupees worth of customer benefits in 2020 and a life insurance fund worth over 100 billion rupees, our strength is your strength. You focus on your goals. We will take care of the risks. Zilinco Life.